Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to the release of Guardian for Alpha Flight. So, in today's video, we're going to be unlocking him, we're going to be pulling red stars for him, and we're going to be talking about why you should have him, not necessarily spend money, but we're going to talk about what this means for the Spotlight raids and, of course, the game going forward. So, let's go. If you're ready to go, let's boil this down. Okay, so should we do should we do red stars first, or should we do? Maybe we should check to make sure that he's even in there, right? I don't think they've screwed this up from quite some time, right? When it is in there. So normally what I do is I just go, honestly, probably just go straight for the 7. I have so many 7s at this point; it just kind of recycles back. And I wouldn't be surprised that I get this in one pull. Hopefully, I don't hit one of those like minion or whatever characters that like I don't have at 7. Because I've been buying those up with gold promotions. Usually, I just do this for a while until eventually I hit it, and so it should be in there, right? And so there we go, right there you go, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's done. I remember when red stars used to be a big thing, and we used to make a big deal about opening them, and now it's like I'm sitting on 36 Elite 7s, and you're probably wondering why I haven't converted them to silver diamonds. It's because I'm sitting on 500 silver diamonds. And so I have a lot of this stacked up where I haven't really spent it. Anyways, that is Guardian. Now, one thing that I was curious before we actually pull his orbs, remember that whale event that allegedly started today? So there it is. Take Flight Guardian. It's a 9-day event. So if you're considering buying offers over the next 9 days, here's what's going to happen. So milestone. Okay, interesting. So North Star, more Guardian shards. Is it like a $1 per 100 points? I guess that's what I'm curious about. There's some gold training modules, 2,000 points for 1 diamond Sunfire, and 3,000 for 2. There's also some mega gold orbs. So if you get to 3,000 points, you get 5 mega gold orbs, and then there's a pitiful amount of G18, G19 minis. I mean, it's okay. How much does that cost, though, is what I'm wondering. So let's take a look. What are oh, it actually shows, what? Only 1,000 milestone points for 100. This is 100 US dollars. Holy shit. Oh, it's for, oh no, they're all that way. It's a dual offer for 100 US dollars for 1,000 milestone points. 50 US dollars for 500. Okay, so 3,500 was the max, right? So this is like a 350 US dollar milestone if you want to max it out, is what I'm gathering. 500 for $50. Okay, so I want to go back again. What can I get for 500? Like almost nothing. You get like 5 fucking shards for $50 spent. And if you spend another $50, you get 10 more shards. So you get 15 Guardian and 15 North Star for $100. Wow. Wow. Is this going to get any whales to spend? I don't know. I mean, I guess if they're already spending, then it doesn't matter. But that's so bad. Like, you're getting 3.5 million gold for 100 US dollars and 15 shards. Like, that's just so awful. There's just like terrible value in there. And if you want to get any of this is going to cost you like $300, and this is going to cost you $350. So it's basically like it's about 50 US dollars per milestone, almost. And so that's just crazy. And that's probably what it's going to look like for the Sasquatch one next week as well. Mind-blowing. It's so awful. I actually thought maybe it wouldn't be that bad, but it is. And there are my diamond. You know what? Let's pull these while we're here. Who knows? Maybe we'll get Guardian. I got this from Cosmic Crucible, which I actually did really poor in because I didn't actually do a lot of my runs. I was really tired and busy this week. We got a dupe. We got another dupe. Oh, shit. It was actually an upgrade. Oh, well. Okay. That's fine. Whatever. And we got a 1 diamond. Of course. Ironheart OG, which actually was not a dupe. Great. Maybe one day they'll actually do something with that. So that was my diamonds, because I am in platinum, not the diamond tier. And let's get to the actual alpha leader orbs. Now, the problem is that I have about 12,400 cores. So this is, I'm pretty sure, an unlock. I hope I get lucky, because I don't know if I'm actually going to have enough cores for Sasquatch next Friday. It's 8 days, and I don't know if I'll accumulate enough depending on how this goes. So fingers crossed that I actually get something decent. Then we're going to talk about Guardian and why he's worth it. Please. Oh, I thought that was a gold drop. I thought my heart was racing there, but no, it was green. I swear I saw a gold drop. That was another green. 6, 14, not starting very good, but maybe just maybe. 6 is not good, not good. Core's going down the drain. Again, I swear the green looks like an orange sometimes. Lots of 6s. This is not good, guys. 4, 6, that's 5 orbs and 32. Shit. Is there a realm where I don't actually unlock? I don't think so. Like, I'm just gonna blow all my cores, I guess, but this luck, come on. Come on, it's been fucking 6s, like, all throughout. This is awful. Okay, we got a blue. We got a 10. I think blues can go up to 20. Blue drops to blue purple drops. Oh, we got another one. Oh, another 10. Okay, so that kind of shaved off like one orb. Not looking hot. So when it comes to Sasquatch, this is going to be really tricky because I'm not going to have a ton of cores. And if you're just thinking of one character, though, I would probably save it for Sasquatch. The problem is that Guardian's release is the following Monday. So we know that North Star's event is going to be this coming Monday. Guardians is going to be the Monday after that, at which point Sasquatch's offers and cores will be available. So depending on how long it takes to actually get Guardian in his event, fucking 6s everywhere. It does make more sense to core for Sasquatch. Since North Star, I said I was going to do this, and so I'm just carrying through Alpha Flight, cuz Canada, all that kind of stuff. And so this isn't something that I personally recommend, and looks like, unless I get a good pull on the very last orb, it looks like I used most of my cores. Actually, I didn't even check. Did I have a... No, I was going to say, was there a free claim for Guardian? I guess that hasn't happened yet. So, nope. There he is. I blew through 10,000 cores. Gross. But there is Captain Canada. That's basically what I call him. I mean, come on, he's got like a maple leaf costume. So we're going to build up Guardian. We're going to take him to the moon as much as I can anyways. And then we're going to talk about why you'll want to have him. All right, and we're back. So we've upgraded Guardian to G17. I will get him to G18. The problem is I am low on gold because I've been spending a little bit too much on red gear. But the good thing about Guardian is he is not actually that T4 hungry compared to a lot of the newer characters. So I do want to talk, we're not going to fully go over everything in this kit, but I do want to talk specifically about his main things that he does. On spawn barrier to self and all allies for 20% of this max health. And the reason why I think that he's good, not only in his team, but I'm actually considering maybe taking him into Dark Dimension 7 because he's a tech character, which is really interesting. And a lot of his mechanics actually work on all allies and not just his team. So bury yourself in all allies for 20% of this max health and apply offense up for 2 turns and 1 regen, again, to all allies, which is really nice. He's got some other stuff as well. On enemy death, apply defense down to all enemies. Again, not restricted to raids, war, or his team. The stats for himself, of course, that's all team locked there. And then more raids and war defense mechanic there. His T4 and his passive gives him an extra 10% on spawn barrier. That's just in any game mode to all allies as well. So really, really nice there. His ultimate, his T4 only does damage. So you actually don't need to buy this. But if you're, I'm kind of the opinion that if you're taking someone to the moon, you might as well get their T4s, right? Like a 60% piercing damage is actually a lot. It just doesn't add anything other than damage. So typically those would be the more luxury T4s in my opinion. But piercing is pretty good. So I have a lot of T4s. I'm going to do this anyways. But just saying that you don't need to have this necessarily. Flips immunity on the primary target, then attack adjacent targets as well for damage, which is piercing damage. And then bonus attack for more piercing damage. So it's actually 520% with the T4. Which would have been 400, I guess, without it. Flip taunt and then apply defense down to for 2 turns to each target, and it has extra focus and it's unavoidable. So really, really nice there. His special, which I believe is the other one that you're probably going to want T4s on after the passive, is damage to primary and secondary targets, but it's applying that defense down for 2 turns instead of 1 turn. It does also, it has a cooldown of 3. And it applies offense up to self and all allies. Again, outside of his team, which I think is really nice. And then applying defense down and slow for 2 turns to primary and adjacent targets. So some really good debuffs here that he does, especially slow. Like I could see this being very valuable in places like Dark Dimension 7 and just in general where you're able to use them, of course, in the raids and things like that. It cannot miss and cannot be blocked. However, it does not have enhanced focus. And so my problem is with characters who are low star levels, you know, basically until you get them to around 5-5, at least I tend to run them as skirmisher. I actually still run Penny Parker as skirmisher in raids because I think it's really important that you land that ultimate for the trauma for her, right? And so it's kind of the same thing with Guardian, is that I want to make sure I land those debuffs on the special, which I think are going to be really important to when you actually start using them in the spotlight raid. So he's skirmisher for now, but once I get to about 5-5 or higher, I'd probably put him as a raider because he does a lot of like multi-hit attacks to multiple targets, where raider would make a lot of sense to put up the vulnerabilities. His basic is kind of basic. He gains regeneration. Regen is really important actually to the Alpha Flight kit. I believe it activates something in raids and war defense when they have regeneration on them, so it is pretty important anyways. Apply defense down and chains, and applies defense down up to a max of 3. It does do some chain attack, but it's only like 2 targets because it's 1 adjacent target. It is a lot of damage, 90%, but it's probably the last priority. Again, if you're going to take him to the moon, you're probably going to want to get this. Maybe. You know, it depends on if you're running Striker as well. That's going to do additional damage when you have that too. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, I don't tend to focus on T4s that are strictly damage based. You can see it there, 90%. So that's Guardian. I just wanted to go back. I'm pretty sure it's him that has the regen. Yeah, while this character has regen in Raids and War defense, this character and all Alpha Flight allies gain plus 50% armor. So there is that. That's the whole regen mechanic. Other characters might also have something like that. Maybe they do something different with regen as well. But Alpha Flight is going to be very, very important. And of course, the Spotlight raids. So basically, when can you start the Alpha Flight raid nodes, right? Like in the Spotlight raids, is going to be from next Friday at the earliest. So I do want to let people know that if you are trying to run these Alpha Flight nodes, that North Star's free-to-play event starts Monday, and then Guardian's free-to-play event starts the following Monday, which will be, just to get my dates right, is going to be June the 24th for the Guardian event. That's going to run for a week. But on June the 21st, next Friday, is going to be the offer release for Sasquatch. And that's when the cores are going to be available for him as well. So if you get an early unlock for Guardian, and then you also get that early unlock for Sasquatch, Friday, June the 21st, next Friday, will be the earliest that you will be able to tackle these Spotlight raids and nodes. Now, I'm hoping to get onto the test server to be able to test them at like 3.3 G18, because I'm curious, because I did test running at 5.5 G18, and I had to manual play it. It was not simmable, at least at D2. So I would like to see if that makes a difference at 3.3 G18 and see whether or not it's still viable. That's something that I'll be looking at getting to you guys probably, hopefully this weekend if I can. And that'll be really interesting to know just how challenging this is for people who don't spend, basically. For people who do kind of bare unlocks, waiting for the free-to-play event, that kind of thing. You know, is it going to be viable to run Spotlight 1 D2? But nonetheless, it's going to be really important. Even getting 2 weeks early access, if you unlock Sasquatch next Friday, is going to be really big, because the differences between 40 and 70% is quite reasonable. You know, 2.5 orbs of the red orbs are going to stack up every single day. And also you get that experience that you can start working on these Alpha Flight nodes for you and your alliance. The T4 increases are pretty nice as well. In fact, if you're able to get all the way to 160 daily T4s is quite insane. I think that 100% is actually more doable in the Spotlight raids than like incursion raids, because there's less nodes overall. And so I feel like between you and your alliance, it's a bit more possible. If you weren't necessarily 100% people in the past, you might be able to do it this time around with the Spotlight raids. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you going to unlock Guardian early? Are you going to unlock Sasquatch early? What do you think about the Take Flight whale milestone? I was kind of expecting nothing, and I was actually shocked at how little they ended up giving out for that. I think they need to give spenders a little bit more to encourage them to spend 15 shards and stuff. Like it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. It's disappointing. Anyways, that's the end of this video, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.